Hello and welcome everyone back to Nat's Scraps. I hope you are having a wonderful day and that you've been able to get your fingers inky and get your craft on. Today we're working out on layout 2 of the Cape Cod scrapbooking kit, and if you would like to know a bit more about that, there is a video 1 that goes through that kit and shows you what's in there, and I did the first layout. So this is the second one. You see me cut away a bit of paper there because I'm stingy and I don't waste paper if I can avoid it. And you'll see here too where this little strip here is meant to go on a piece of 12 by 12 of that lovely wood grain. I have been a little bit naughty and I have just put on 2 the strips on either side. Now, the elephant in the room here was, hang on, I'd half made this layout. And I do apologize. I just thought I'd jump straight in there. I had created part of this layout. So I had got my photos and sort of decided what I was going to do. And then I went, do you know what? It's going to be very, very similar to the layout. Will I even record it? And then I didn't record, and then I went, no, that means I don't have another video to put out for another week, and I thought that was a bit bad. So I thought, no, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I do make a few changes. I don't change everything. It is very similar and very, very close to the layout that is in the kit. The scallops down the bottom here are exactly as they are in the kit, and it took me way more time than it should have to put the scallops on this layout. I seem to fiddle with them for ages. I've got this on super seed, and if you'd been here when I did it, you go, how long have you been scrapbooking? Do you even scrapbook? Do you know what you're doing, Nat? I was completely like just thrown off. Like I didn't, yeah, it took me ages. I've actually found that before when I've done scallops like this on a page, and I don't know whether it's because I want them to be the exact difference apart, or I'm not sure, but it always does tend to throw me. These are all little die cuts that all come in the kit. You can see there I'm pulling them out of the base page, and then I'm going to pop them down on either side. Now the changes I did make, you see in the corner is up in the right hand corner is the layout as per the kit. It only had 3 photos and a journaling block on it and much smaller photos. And you'll see as we go along here that me adding quite long photos on here does mean that I have to change up exactly where they're sitting. They're not sitting on the center strip like they did on their layout. I've got all those scallops on and I start looking at that these are not the same shape and size as what they had, and how I'm going to get around that and have some of that paper show and all that kind of stuff. And I'm doing that now, and I realize I don't want all of those scallops there. So I do in a moment take all of them off. Now I have also brought in that little thin strip that I have put on the left hand page. I've done that. I just wanted something there as like sort of like a shelfie kind of thing. There wasn't anything on the page that was in the kit. Now I will apologize too, the camera was on autofocus on this video and it was jumping in and out and was it jumps around a little bit, and I apologize for that. It's not something I can correct in post editing or things like that. So you see I'm taking those longer photos that I've made, I'm popping them off the edges to the side, and I added the 2 zip strips either side of that paper instead of the scalloped circles. I will come back in and add those scalloped circles back in, and but in much smaller amounts. This sticker, the Wild and Free, is actually meant to be on the first layout that I did, but I swapped it around and I wanted it here to create a 3rd embellishment cluster on that side. I didn't actually use what they had in the kit for the embellishment cluster there. I added this one because I thought it worked really well with these photos and the idea of the kids just being wild and free at the beach on a cold winter's day. bringing in a couple of more stickers and bits and pieces and adding them. Now the bottom right hand corner cluster is pretty much exactly as you see it on in the kit, so I haven't really changed much there. I might add a sticker or an element or two, or maybe changed an element around it, but not very much. But here's where I'm adding those scallops back in on that corner. I feel like it needed something behind those embellishments, so I do come in and put those scallops there. Now the title for this page, it's meant to say beach life, and I wasn't overly excited about beach life. It's kind of good, but this is documenting a winter's day at the beach. It was from memory, really close to the middle of winter, but it was a really beautiful warm day for winter here in Victoria, and I want a title that will work with that. So again, I go back to the Cricut machine and I cut those titles. I use the Cricut machine so often to create titles, and I love the, close to my heart, digital files that we can get, that we can create and change up and do things with. And I find it's so liberating when I'm scrapbooking. I can just go, I need this, grab it from the downloads, load it to my Cricut machine and cut it out. Well worth. I don't know how I ever scrapbooked without it. So here is the title that I did. It has winter sun, which I thought is aptly talks about that day, and I used a combination of the periwinkle, which is that light purpley color, and the lagoon, which is the greeny aqua color there. On the first video in this series, I mentioned why I wanted to use these photos. They're quite old photos. They're probably nearly 10 years old. But I wanted to use them because my son's shirt and my daughter's shirt, just the purple and the green just worked so perfectly with this layout that I wanted to use them for this. Now I'm looking at what I'm going to add, what I'm going to take away from these embellishment clusters. I've changed up my title. And I'm looking at bringing in just a couple of more dots of that darker green. So I want a little bit of green over there on the bottom right, also a little bit at that wild and free sticker, and just adding a few more things around the winter sun, just really building up the embellishments. Here I'm cutting out a sticker from the sheet. It's a little sun hat, and then I'm also going to cut out a little umbrella. You'll notice in this series I do a lot of cutting out of stickers. I'm going to do it again on a title here, and I'm halfway through the third layer and I'm going to do that again. Just a word of warning. I do like cutting up bits and pieces of stickers to create stuff that I want from them. There's the little, like a little sprig. I wish I had 2 more of those in the kit, but I didn't. Had to make do. There's where I cut that one. I took it out because it took a while to cut around, but I've just gone around it and it looks a little bit more free and a little bit less restricted than that solid sticker shape that was there, that was kind of not organic, where everything else was feeling very organic on the page. So I just wanted to make it flow a little bit more. I'm just adding little final details here and moving bits and pieces around till I'm 100% happy. And you'll have seen me do this loads and loads, just trying things in different positions until I find a cluster or a group of embellishments that work in my mind. I do come in and add just some tiny little dots of that green paper that they're actually parts of the die cuts from a die cut sheet, where the button, there is a button, kind of die cut button in that bottom right hand embellishment, and I put a couple of those little bits and pieces around. And I also add loads of the acrylic dots. That's what I'm working for, the little gems and acrylic dots, and moving around. And also just this tiny little banners on the side. So you'll see up in that top right hand corner, I've popped back a picture of the original layout, and you can see the differences. I'd love to hear what you think I should have changed, what I shouldn't have changed, whether I should have changed it up more, whether you're bored with me doing stuff that is from kits. I'd love to know, because I want to know what you guys are up to, and what you're thinking and what you would like to see. If there's a kit or a product you want me to show, please leave a comment, let me know, because I will definitely get back to you and try to work that into videos in the near future. So that is pretty much the layout, guys. I'm going to do a little close-up here so that you can see all the little details, and then I believe there will be some close-up photos as well at the end, if I've remembered to add them in. I could go check, but I'm not. In the meantime, I just want to thank you all for tuning in, watching, and all the support you guys give me. Please consider liking the video. Please consider subscribing to the channel, because that always helps, and leaving a comment so that I know what you're thinking. Apart from that, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Get those fingers inky and get your craft on, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.